Voyages training. So I'm just stepping in for the lovely Layla today to do your Virgin Voyages brand training. I recognise a couple of the names on here from my time at Voyage Store and things. So hello to everybody who I might not have spoken to for a while. So I just want to give you a brief overview of what we're going over today. So, of course, we'll be talking all things Virgin Voyages, what makes us different to other cruise lines, and how we are set apart within the industry. Because, as you might have heard, if you are new to Virgin Voyages, we do things slightly differently on our side. So if you know cruising, then be prepared, because there are a few things that we have tweaked slightly and do a bit differently at Virgin Voyages. So I hope you all enjoy and take a lot away from this. Now, just to give you a bit of a heads up, there are a couple of videos in the presentation. We did a test earlier. The sound seems to be working and everything, which is good. But if you can't hear it very well, don't worry too much. As long as you can see what's on the screen, then we should be all good. Perfect. And also, just to let you know as well, there is at the bottom right of your window, of your screen, there is a little chat button. So if you've got any questions that you want to just ask as we're going along, feel free to pop them in the chat box. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll go through any questions that you might have, and we can do a bit of a Q&A at the end for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll get started. Perfect. There we go. And we'll play from the start. So, ahoy, everybody. Welcome to your Virgin Voyages training. Talking about all things cruising reimagined by Virgin Voyages. So, ahoy, first mates, as I should say. So, you'll notice that throughout the presentation, I'll be using a lot of different language. So, of course, being Virgin, a lot of you know the brand. It's very cheeky, it's very casual. So, we like to mix things up a bit with language that we use. So first mates is what we call our travel agents. You notice that we'll also refer to passengers as sailors, our onboard staff as crew, things like that. So there will be a few little colloquialisms, or however you say it, and different words that we use at Virgin Voyages. Now, let's start off with our fleet. Now, of course, without our fleet, we wouldn't have a cruise line. So this is the most important part. We've got 4 ships in the fleet. Currently, we've got 3 sailing. So we've got Scarlet Lady, who joined us in 2021. Valiant Lady, who joined us the year after, and Resilient Lady, who joined us the year after that. We've also got Brilliant Lady. She's our 4th ship in the fleet, and she'll be joining us in August this year for her launch. So she's brand new to us in the year of 2025. And as you can see there's a wide range of home ports as well, across the Med, across the Caribbean, and out of Portsmouth in the UK as well. Now, to give you an idea of the size of the ships, of course, you can see a lovely picture there of our Scarlet Lady. We have a maximum capacity of 2,770 sailors. So for the size of the ship, we don't like to cram the ship full of passengers and sailors and people, so that we can actually use the space on board for all different aspects, for restaurants, for bar areas, and really to create a variety of spaces on the ship. We're about 110,000 gross tons, so we're not one of the largest ships, but we're also not a small ship either. And of course, you can always tell when a Virgin ship is in port, because we are the bright red and grey ship standing out from the rest. So that's our fleet. And I'm just going to play you a quick video as well, just to give you a peek into life on board.
Sea views for days, runs I'm actually excited to go on, and breakfast mojitos because it's tradition on vacation, right? Oh, and when I tell you the Virgin Voyages food is absolutely unreal, and it's all included, it almost feels too good to be true. Cheers to that, right? This has been truly amazing, but next time, you really need to be here.
Perfect. So there was a little snippet into life on board. That was in Pink Agave, one of our restaurants on board the ship. Now we're going to talk about some of the reasons to set sail with Virgin Voyages and what actually sets us apart from other cruise lines. Like I said, we do things slightly differently at Virgin, so it's good to sort of top line what actually stands out against the rest. So, kid-free cruising. This is probably the number one thing and the number one selling point for Virgin Voyages, is that we are an adults-only cruise line. So this is across the whole fleet. You've got to be 18 and over to sail with us, and it really creates such a relaxed atmosphere on board. You can be by the pool. You're not having to worry about kids jumping into the pool and splashing you, things like that. Any little ones running about the decks that you've got to watch out for. But not only does it create a great atmosphere on board, but it also means that we can use the space on the ship for other things that you wouldn't be able to use the space for if you had kids on board. So, for example, we don't need to take up space on the ship with a kids club or to put slides or a park on board the ship or anything like that. We can actually use those spaces for more intimate, more chilled adults areas. So like the more intimate bar areas and restaurants and things like that. So if you are looking to go on a cruise, but you don't want the kids around, or you want to leave the kids at home with the grandparents, something like that, then definitely choose Virgin Voyages for the kid-free cruising. Now, always included luxury. This is something that we always touch on at Virgin Voyages, and is another one of our top selling points, is that we actually include an awful lot in the voyage fare. Now, everything that you can see on the screen there is included in every single voyage fare. This means that if you are sailing in the very cheapest cabin, an insider cabin, you know, down in the middle of the ship, all the way up to our Rockstar cabins, you get all of this as standard. So within the always included luxury, we get dining at 20 plus eateries. So all of our eateries on board are included. That means no buffets, no main dining rooms, and it's all a la carte specialty dining that is included. There are no cover charges for any of our restaurants. We've then got tips and gratuities. So your tips and gratuities are always included. This means that the price that you see on the menu at a bar is the price that you pay. There's no additional tip or gratuity added on top. We've then also got Wi-Fi. I think most of you will agree it's a basic human right nowadays to have Wi-Fi, almost as important as having oxygen. And it means that we can stay in touch with our loved ones at home, our friends and family, and also to post lots on Instagram. We've got some of the most Instagrammable ships at sea, and so we definitely want you sharing your pictures with your loved ones at home. Group fitness classes. So all of our group fitness classes are included with Virgin Voyages. So whether you'd like a sunrise yoga session up on the perch, or you want to do a 90s boy band workout class, all of those are included too. Essential drinks. So essential drinks, what do we mean by that? It's basically all of our soft drinks, teas, coffees, still and sparkling waters, basically anything that you can self-serve on the ship. Or doesn't need to be specially made by hand. So you'll notice that in the galley, which is our replacement of the buffet, which I'll talk about a little later, there'll be some self-service stations for self-service tea and coffee, some soda machines where you can grab Coca-Colas and Fantas and things like that. And also tea, coffee, waters, still water, any water in your cabin, things like that, they're all included too. And then, of course, we've got a huge variety of shows and entertainment on board that you can go and view for free. We've got a variety of shows that all pop up around the ship. So there really is something for everybody. So when you're sailing a Virgin Voyage, always remember that you've got every single one of these included. So actually, if you might see the price of a Virgin Voyage and think, oh, it's a little bit more expensive than this other cruise line, actually take into account everything that you get included. And actually, if you looked at that other cruise line and you added on all of these extras, and that actually is really good value for money with us. Casually looks. So also another top selling point of Virgin Voyages is that we are a really casual cruise line. So that is for our dress code, as in that there isn't one, so that you can turn up as you are, however you will be comfortable when you go on holiday. If you were going for a week in an all-inclusive resort in the Caribbean, for example, just dress exactly the same. There is no expectations or dress codes on board our ships. And it also means that we've removed all the stuffiness and the formalities that you would find in a traditional luxury environment and in traditional cruising. So again, we touched on the fact that there's no main dining rooms, there's no buffets on board, and it's all a la carte dining. You can book your time for whenever you like on the Virgin Voyages app, and there's just no expectations. And that also extends to our crew as well. And it means that because it's such a relaxed atmosphere, they can really ramp up their Rockstar service and provide the best, most personal service that they can. Now, destinations, where do we actually sail to? So over the years, we've obviously expanded our fleet, and that's also expanded our destinations that we sail to. Now, our core destinations, and probably the ones that you'll be selling the most, are in Europe. So we have every summer a ship based out of Barcelona, one out of Athens. We've got some Rome sailings this year, and we've also got Portsmouth as well. So if you've got any any guests who want to sail from the UK and don't necessarily want to fly, then they can sail from Portsmouth. They have got that option later in the summer. But we sail to a wide variety of destinations across the Med and across Europe as well. And we really try to go to those bucket list destinations that people really want to visit, such as Dubrovnik, Istanbul, Mykonos, Santorini, all of these, again, really Instagrammable spots that you can visit around Europe. We also try to throw in a couple of overnight stays and late stays in ports as well, so that you're not having to rush when you're in the destination, and you can actually spend the time to enjoy your time there. So, for example, in some of our Barcelona sailings, we have an overnight stop in Ibiza. We dock in the Old Town. I've done an overnight stay in Ibiza quite a few times on the ship, and it's really great. There's a little shuttle bus that drops you off in the Old Town, and you can go off and enjoy a meal somewhere or go to a club that night. It really makes you experience the destination to its fullest. And another one of my favorite overnight stops that we do is in Mykonos as well, in Greece. So if you're sailing from Athens, a lot of our sailings have an overnight stop in Mykonos, and that's a really great destination to experience a really lovely environment. And then moving over to the Caribbean as well. So we have 4 to 11 night sailings out of the Caribbean. We sail from Miami year round. So any time of year, we'll have a ship based in Miami. And then we also sail from San Juan in the winter and visit destinations such as Antigua, Barbados, St. Lucia. Again, all of these bucket list Caribbean islands. And most of our Miami sailings also stop at our private beach club at Bimini in the Bahamas, which I'll touch on in a minute. Now, I mentioned that we're getting Brilliant Lady later in the summer. So in August, September, we're getting Brilliant Lady joining the fleet. Her inaugural sailings will be from New York. So we've got some brand new destinations that we're visiting this year with Brilliant Lady. So she'll be starting her life out of New York, sailing from the heart of Manhattan. Then she'll be moving down to Miami for a couple of months, based out of Miami, visiting the Caribbean. And then moving over to March, Brilliant Lady is actually the first ship in our fleet who is actually Panama Canal compliant. So she's the only one of our ships that's skinny enough to fit through the Panama Canal. How we've done that is we've just brought the lifeboats in a little bit. We've also introduced a new category of sea terrace or balcony cabin, again, which I'll touch on in a minute, to allow for those lifeboats to come in. And that means that she can transit the Panama Canal in March. And then for the beginning of the summer next year, she'll be sailing from Los Angeles. We'll have some Californian sailings. And then for the entire summer season of 2026, Brilliant Lady will be based out of Seattle, and she will have an Alaska season. So it's the first time that we've sailed to Alaska or even sailed to the west coast of the US. So it's a really exciting time for us with these brand new destinations. Now, I just touched on there with Miami that we sail year round from the port of Miami. And here we actually have our very own Terminal V. So Terminal V is our home terminal in the heart of Miami. We're actually the very first terminal that you see when you drive down to the port. So if you've been to Miami before, you've been on that flyover down into the port where all the cruises depart from. Our terminal is the very first one that you'll see, and it actually says set sail the Virgin Way across it. So we get a lot of people who are jealous driving to their other cruise lines, having to pass our ship and our terminal first. And it's a really great way to start your Miami sailing with Virgin Voyages. It's very much like an extension of the ship, very modern in design. We have a Rockstar lounge there. So for any of our suite guests staying in our Rockstar cabins on board, they've got their own lounge at the terminal. And it really makes your Caribbean voyage off to a great start. I mentioned our beach club at Bimini. So this is our very own private beach club in the Bahamas on the island of Bimini. So we actually dock just down the coast on this little island, and you can jump on a little train that will take you down to the resort when you disembark the ship in Bimini. Now, this resort is pretty much an extension of the ship. in that all of your food, again, as it is included on the ship, it is also included in Bimini. And you also have a wristband that you wear on the ship to pay for your drinks and things. And you can also use that wristband to pay for your drinks in Bimini too. And again, there'll be separate menus. There's a private rockstar area at Bimini. And we have lots of pool parties and different relaxing areas that you can use at Bimini. I'm yet to visit Bimini, but I know most of the team have actually been here and their pictures look absolutely stunning. And I can pretty much say that the water in the sea is mostly the same colour as the pool, which is absolutely beautiful. So hopefully one day I'll get there. But yes, most of your Miami sailings with Virgin Voyages, you will visit the beach club at Bimini. And it's usually the highlights of a lot of people's sailings, getting to visit this beach club. Now let's have a look at some of the life on board Virgin Voyages. So we've talked about what makes us different, the destinations we visit and the ships. Now let's have a look at some of the spaces that we actually have on board. Now, just touching on just some of the outdoor spaces that we have, let's start with probably my favourite space on the ship, which is the dock. This is down on deck 7, right at the back of the ship, overlooking the aft and the wake as you're sailing away. Now, this is a Mediterranean-style beach club sort of vibe going down at the dock. So there's big day beds, lots of different seating that you can relax on. We've got a bar down here. Sometimes in the afternoon, we'll have a DJ or a musician down there, just really creating that atmosphere and that vibe in an afternoon. And we've got some amazing meze and tapas dishes as well that you can order there. So a lot of light bites and small dishes that you can order to your day bed, or if you just fancy going somewhere different for your lunch, I'd definitely recommend the dock. We've then got the athletic club. So this is up on deck 16, right at the top of the ship, right at the back. And as you can see, there's a big day bed that sweeps all around the back of the ship. There's a bar here as well. So there's a big bar where you can watch sports that are usually playing. You'll often find different groups and different activities and activations that we have around the ship will take place at the athletic club because it's a really great space to get some sunshine and definitely be by the bar. We've then got the aquatic club. So the aquatic club is our pool area on board. So again, there's sort of big day beds around there. It's more of a Las Vegas style pool. So there's a lot of shallow areas within the pool that you can stand or sit and chill and chat to your friends and have a drink with a small pool area in the middle. And this, again, of an afternoon, will often have a DJ popping up around 2 or 3 p.m. Really sort of up in the atmosphere and up in the vibe by the pool. And then we've also got the perch as well. So this is right up on top on deck 17, out of the way. So if you want in a quieter area to relax and sunbathe, we've got the perch. And we also do our sunrise yoga up at the perch. We've recently introduced weddings as well, so you can get married up at the perch. It's a more private and secluded area of the ship if you'd like somewhere a little bit quieter. Now, the high street. So if you're a big spender like me and like doing a lot of shopping, then this is the place for you. So the high street is basically a shopper's paradise at sea, as it says there. There's lots of different shops. We've got designer handbag shops. We've got merchandise. We've got perfumes, a watch shop, all these different things. We've got lots of different brands as well that we work with. So on Scarlet Lady, we've got a MAC makeup shop. On Resilient Lady, we've got a Ray-Ban sunglasses shop as well. So we've got a wide variety of different shops and stores that you can actually visit, including our Virgin Voyages brand shop as well. So if you want to go and get some Virgin Voyages swag, I know I'm wearing my Virgin Voyages t-shirt today, you can buy that in our shop on board. We've also got the very first and only tattoo parlor at sea. So we've got Squid Ink. So we've got one of these on every ship. So of course, if you'd like to go on board and take a memory away from Virgin Voyages and remember it for the rest of your life, then you can go and get a tattoo on board. If you do want to get a tattoo on board there, I would recommend booking in on the first day you get on board. Go and book in to get your tattoo because that place books up quick. As you can imagine, a lot of people want to say they've had a tattoo at sea. So it's a really great way to remember your trip on Virgin Voyages. Now let's talk about some of the bars on board. So I'll talk about drinks in just a second, how we do drinks slightly differently. But of course, we've got lots of different bar spaces on board as well. So starting again at the left, we've got On the Rocks. So this is our main bar on the ship. This is in a really central location. So we have the roundabout, which is the center of our ship, where a lot of things happen. This is where the high street starts off from, and we've also got our On the Rocks bar. So of an evening, this will be a really great lively atmosphere. We often have some guitarists or musicians or a band playing on the rocks of an evening. So after you've been for your dinner and you just want to go for a cocktail or a couple of glasses of wine afterwards, I definitely recommend On the Rocks. We've then got Sip Lounge. So this is our dedicated champagne bar on board. This is actually quite a large bar as well. It's one that you walk through to different venues. We do afternoon tea here. And of course, we've got our Moet champagne. So we've got lots of Moet on tap in Sip. We've then got the Draft House. So the Draft House is if you are a beer drinker or you like your ales and different ales and beers like that, then you can head to the Draft House. So this is where you can find a wide variety of different beers, a different selection of flavors and brands that you can actually try. So this is a great place if you are a beer drinker. And then we've got the Loose Cannon. So this is quite a hidden bar, actually. So if you do find this, it's like a little hidden gem. And this is more of a pub style area. We do a lot of pub quizzes and different events around Loose Cannon. And you can do a lot of rum and whiskey tasting as well there. So that's a great bar for that. Each of our bars as well has their own specialty cocktails too. So if you'd like to try different cocktails around the ship, I definitely recommend the Grog Walk, which is when one of our happenings cast, one of our entertainment crew, will take you and a group of sailors around the ship to each of the bars to try all the different cocktails on board. So that's a great way to get to know all of the different bartenders as well. Now, talking of drinks, we do things slightly different at Virgin Voyages. So we don't have your traditional drinks package because they normally come with a lot of restrictions. You know, you're only allowed, 10 drinks a day. You can only buy 1 or 2 at a time. If there's two of you in a cabin, then you've both got to have a drinks package. We've done away with all of those restrictions. We want you to go on holiday and buy drinks and spend your bar tab as you like. So there are no restrictions on our bar tab. Now, how does it work? So you can prepay for a bar tab before you travel. So as you can see there, all the different bar tab amounts, and for each bar tab that you add on, we'll add a respective bonus as well. So for example, if you bought a $300 bar tab, we'll throw in $50 for free on top. Now, there's no restrictions on how many bar tabs you can have. So if there's a couple of you in the room, you can buy a bar tab each. If one person wants to buy 2 or 3 bar tabs, but the other one doesn't, that's fine as well. And you can do a good mixture of the bar tabs too. Now, within that, like I said, there's no restrictions. So we don't limit you on the amount of drinks that you can buy at the bar at any one time. So that means if you want to buy a round of drinks for friends that you've made on your voyage, then you can definitely do that. You can also buy a bottle of wine at dinner if you'd like. That comes out of your bar tab too. So there's really plenty of ways that you can use your bar tab and no restrictions at all. Now let's talk about some of my favourite parts of a Virgin Voyage, which is mainly the food. Now, often when we do these events and I'm speaking to a lot of people who have maybe been on board before, I always ask them, what's your favourite part about Virgin Voyages? And they'll often say that the food. So the food is usually right at the top of that list. So I've got a quick video of some of the food on board. Now, if that doesn't make you hungry, then I don't know what will. So if you've not had your lunch yet, I think your tummy's probably rumbling now. So dining venues. So as I mentioned, all of your dining on Virgin Voyages is included in the voyage fare. So we have got absolutely no cover charges for any of our restaurants. Now, of the 20 plus eateries on board that we have 6 of what we would normally call specialty restaurants. So these are the restaurants that you can book on your Virgin Voyages app. If you're staying on the ship for a week, then it gives you a chance to visit each of the restaurants every night, a different restaurant every night. And then what I'd like to do is then, whichever was my favourite that voyage, book that one again for the last night. So it's a good way of experiencing all that we have to offer in terms of the food on board Virgin Voyages. Now we'll just run through each of them. So of course we've got Extra Virgin, which is our authentic Italian restaurant. Probably my favourite restaurant on board. That picture that you can see there is a lovely board of different deli meats and cheeses and honey and fruit. It's a great way to start your meal. We've then got Pink Agave, which is the Mexican experience. So this is our authentic Mexican restaurant on board. You'll find more traditional Mexican dishes here. So what Mexicans would eat in their hometowns or what they would have at home. So you won't necessarily find tacos and chili con carne or anything like that there. There's a lot more traditional dishes. We've then got the test kitchen. So this is experimental tasting, as it says there. And this is a 5-course tasting menu. It's set out like a science lab. So when you walk in, all the waiters and waitresses will be wearing lab coats. And there's some very different here. So foods that you might not necessarily tried before, or combinations of food that you might not have thought of. Not everybody likes it at Test Kitchen, but that's the whole point. It's the point of trying different foods, experimenting with different flavors and things like that. So that's a really great experience in there. We also have a wine pairing menu to that too. So if you want a different wine with each course that pairs perfectly, I've done that wine tasting a few times, then that's a great way to really elevate that meal in there too. Then we've got Gunbei. So this is our Korean barbecue restaurant on board. So this is shared tables. So if you're traveling as a couple and you want to make friends with some other people on board, this is a really great way of sort of interacting with other sailors on the voyage. Or if you're sailing as a group, or if you've got a group of friends, or you're sailing with family, then again, this is a great experience. All of the food is cooked in front of you on the grill with your waiter or waitress. And also they play some drinking games too as well to really amp up the atmosphere and the vibe in Gunbei. So that's one of our more lively restaurants on board. We've then got the Wake, which is our steak and seafood restaurant. So this is probably the poshest looking restaurant that we've got on board, and the food is absolutely in there. So there's a wide range of steaks available and meats, fish dishes. There's also, it's worth mentioning, in all of the restaurants, there's plenty of vegetarian and different sort of food types that we do cater to, and different dietary requirements. We do cater to that across the all of the restaurants. But yeah, the Wake is our steak and seafood. So if you like a good steak, you love cheesy, garlicky potatoes, that kind of thing, a lovely rack of lamb, then the Wake is definitely the place to go. And then we've got Razzle Dazzle as well. So this is our naughty and nice restaurant. So there's a lot of American comfort food in there. So you'll find like ribs and chicken wings, chicken and biscuits, things like that. So this is probably one of the more casual of the a la carte restaurants on board. But again, all included in the voyage fare. You simply need to book on the Virgin Voyages app your slot, and then you can get booked into all of these restaurants. Now, it's worth mentioning that whilst all of our ships are pretty much identical when it comes to the restaurants, we have started to introduce a few new tasting and restaurant and food sort of experiences on board our ships. So Scarlet Lady's just been in for her first dry dock, and she's had a slight refit and a refurbishment. And as part of that refit, Razzle Dazzle has actually been changed to the Lucky Lotus of an evening. So the Lucky Lotus is a new Chinese restaurant that we've got on board. I'm really looking forward to trying that one. And then on Brilliant Lady coming later this year, her Razzle Dazzle restaurant will be Rojo by Razzle Dazzle, which will be a Spanish tapas restaurant. So we're starting to introduce these new dining experiences on Virgin Voyages. We found that because we've got such a high rebook rate, which is around 40-45%, so nearly half the sailors that go on board a Virgin Voyage will book to go on again. And because people are going on so often, because they love it so much, they're eating in the same restaurants and eating the same food. So that's why we've started to change it up with some new dining experiences. So definitely keep your eye out for pictures and videos and people's feedback on those, because they look amazing. And then the rest of the ship. So as I mentioned, there's 20 plus eateries, but I'll just mention a few of the other places that you can eat. So notably, we've got the Social Club, which is an American diner style food, chicken wings, hot dogs, popcorn, sweets that you can go and grab and go from there. They also do some lovely boozy milkshakes at the Social Club too. We've then got the galley, which is our replacement of the buffet on board. So it's more set out like a food court that you might find in a shopping mall, or like if you were in a looking at food markets somewhere while you're on holiday. It's very much laid out like that. So we've got a burger bar, we've got a place to get noodles, a place to get tacos, and this is either self-service. You can go up and the crew will make the food fresh in front of you to give to you. Or you can go and take a seat, and our servers will come over and take your order for you. So it basically means that we've got no food sat under hot lamps for ages. All of the food is made fresh to make. Then we've got the pizza place. So the pizza place, clues in the name. This is where you get the pizza on board. And the pizza is amazing. It's freshly stone-baked pizzas, all fresh to order. And again, you can eat in, or you can take away in a pizza box and go and enjoy your pizza elsewhere on the ship. This is actually open until 2 a.m. So if you've been to the nightclub and you've had a few drinks and you're partying and you're a bit hungry now after all that dancing, then it's a good place to stop and grab a pizza before you go back to bed. We've then got Lick Me Till Ice Cream. So this is probably our naughtiest named place on the ship. And of course, clues in the name, this is where you get your ice cream on board. So we've got a wide variety of flavours, and all of the ice cream is made fresh every day on board the ship. And then we've got Ship Eats. So this is our version of Uber Eats, of course, clues in the name there, Ship Eats. And this is our in-room dining option. So this is our room service, essentially. So we've got easy to clean boxes there, as you can see. So they all come stackable. You won't find any food coming on a tray with a plastic cover over it. They come in stacked boxes in a Ziploc bag. So once you're done with it, you can stack all your dirty plates together, pop them back in the bag, zip it up, and leave it on your door handle outside your cabin. So it makes it nice and neat, and there's no mess involved. So we've got our shows and entertainment. I'm just going to mute that so you can hear me. So let's talk about some of the entertainment that we've got on board, because of course, as I mentioned, we've got a wide variety of entertainment available on board. There really is something for everybody. So if you're into your karaoke, we've got the Groupie, which is our private karaoke booths that you can pre-book throughout the day. Again, they're free to use. You just need to put your name on and book your slot in one of the karaoke rooms. We've then got a casino on board, so we've got a wide variety of tables and different games and slot machines that you can use in there too. We've got the Red Room, so this is our replacement of the theatre space on board. So it's a transformational space, meaning that we can change the layout of the seating and where the stage would be. So every time you go in to see a different show, you'll often find that it's a completely different layout from when you were last in there. We've got some of our shows like Persephone, for example, which you can just see on the video on the right. And there's a lot of satellite stages, so the entertainment is happening all around you, above you, behind you. It really creates for a great immersive experience with our entertainment. We've then got the Manor. So this is our Art Deco 1970s style nightclub on board. So of course, of an evening, it's our nightclub, but we also use this space for more intimate shows as well. So you'll often find shows like Another Rose or Lola's Library. They're hosted in the Manor. It's a smaller venue, makes it more intimate, and you can get closer to all of the action. Now, of course, you've probably all seen pictures or heard stories from Scarlet Night. Now, of course, we mentioned that we are not a formal cruise line, so we don't have any formal nights or dress codes. But the one night that we do have on every single voyage is Scarlet Night. So this is an immersive celebration. There's pop-up performances all throughout the ship, and it all starts from about 9 p.m. You'll see different live music. You'll see the whole ship turn red. Everybody is encouraged to wear a splash of red just to get in the atmosphere. So the whole ship is drenched in the colour red, and it all ends in a pool party up on deck 15. We'll have a performance by our Happenings cast, our entertainment team on board, with dances and a bit of a celebration. And then afterwards, everybody can jump in the pool if they wish and dance the night away by the pool deck. So Scarlet Night is a really fun night on board. You don't have to get too involved. If you'd rather sit or stand on the top deck and watch everybody else jumping in the pool, that is absolutely fine as well. But take it from me, I've done that pool jump quite a few times now, so I think I'm retiring from jumping in the pool on Scarlet Night. But I'd love to see everybody else enjoying it and experience it for the first time as well. Now, of course, we've talked about a lot of the entertainment and how we like to party on board, but of course, we're not all about partying at Virgin Voyages. I know that was very much sort of when we very first launched a few years ago. It was very much about having a lively atmosphere on board, but we've definitely toned it down a lot. And of course, if you want to get involved with the partying, you can do. But equally, if you want to go on a Virgin Voyage and relax and take time to chill out on vacation, then you can do that as well. So part of that, we've got our redemption spa. So this is our spa space on board. You can book a pass to go to the spa. So if you don't necessarily want any treatments, but you want to use the spa space, you can do that. And it starts from about $35 per person, depending on the day that you're actually using the spa. But of course, there's plenty of different treatments that you can book too. And in the thermal suite, you can make use of the mud room, salt room, sauna, steam rooms, hot and cold plunge pools, our heated marble hammam benches as well. I will admit I have fallen asleep on those benches because it is so relaxing in there. So again, this is a great space that you can make use of if you'd love to go and use the spa on board. And of course, again, if you're into your fitness and staying fit while you're on holiday, we've got plenty of facilities to do that too. So of course, in our always included luxury, we've got all of our group fitness classes included. So you can go and do a VHS workout, or like I said, do a sunrise yoga, HIIT classes, anything like that. They're all available on board, and we've got different spaces that we use for that as well. So of course, I mentioned earlier the perch, which is where we do our outdoor yoga. We've got a training camp, which has a boxing ring. We've got our B complex, which is our cardio room, so lots of bikes and treadmills in there, and a whole host of other areas on the ship as well. So if you're into your fitness and you like to go to the gym on holiday, not personally my thing, you'll find me down by the pool. But if you are into your gymming and keeping fit, then of course we've got plenty of options for you there too. Now, where will you actually be staying on board the ship? So let's talk about some of our cabins and our Rockstar suites. So the picture that you're looking at here is our sea terrace cabin. So this is our standard cabin on board. We, of course, also have inside cabins that have no windows, sea views, which is like an ocean view with a window, and our sea terrace, which is our balcony cabins. Now, of course, you can see in the back there, we've actually got our red hammock, which is available on each of our balconies on our sea terraces. So they're on the majority of the cabins that we have. And of course, you can see it's quite modern. They're quite cozy cabins as well, and they are very spacious. So we've got plenty of different spaces in the cabin to relax and store your things. On the right, you can actually see on the desk, there's a small tablet on there. So we call them clever cabins because you can stay in bed with your tablet. You can open and close the curtains. You can change the mood lighting in the cabin or the temperature, all from the comfort of your bed with your tablet. So they are super smart cabins as well. Now, of course, we've also got our Rockstar quarters too. So I mentioned before when talking about Terminal V that we've got a Rockstar lounge in Terminal V. So our Rockstars on board will be treated to a whole load of extras as well. So if you've got anybody looking to really up their experience and really elevate their Virgin Voyage, and they want to upgrade to a suite, one of our Rockstar quarters, then they can do, and they'll get a load of inclusive items as well. So, of course, not only do they get a slightly different decorated cabin, it's also larger. A lot of them have larger sea terraces as well with sun lounges and sometimes with an extra hammock on board. And every Rockstar will get access to Richard's Rooftop, which is our exclusive suite-only area on the ship. So this is only available to Rockstar guests. And there we'll have exclusive menus, exclusive sushis. And we've also got a happy hour every day at 5 p.m. as well in Richard's Rooftop. And that means it's pretty much unlimited free drinks for an hour, up to a certain value, but Moët champagne is included in that happy hour. So if you like your champagne and you want to sail Rockstar, then definitely make sure you're at Richard's Rooftop for 5 p.m. When they start opening that champagne. But they also get a lot of other extras as well in Rockstar Quarters, including an in-room minibar. They get early booking access to booking their restaurants before they travel. They get a 24-hour Rockstar agent. And then you can also step up to Mega Rockstar. So again, this is another step above Rockstar Quarters. Again, they get bigger suites with much bigger terraces. They get a daily bar tab to use on drinks. They get a private Rockstar agent, free transfers in Miami, and so much more as well. So again, if you've got anybody looking to really elevate their Virgin Voyage, then definitely have a look at our Rockstar Quarters because it is so worth it for all the extras. Now, we've talked a lot about the cabins, so if you want to see them sort of firsthand, then now's your chance to scan the QR code. This will take you through to our website, and you can actually walk around all the different cabins, the different suites that we have on board. So I'll just leave this up on the screen just for a second, just so you can scan that. And I'm going to change the screen in 3, 2, 1. There you go, you've had your chance now. So I'm just going to play one more video for you before we end, and then we'll just go through some of the results. Perfect. So that just gives you a little insight into life on board one of our ships. That was actually filmed. Fun fact: that little video was actually filmed whilst we were on board as a sales team in November. We sailed from Miami for a couple of nights on a first mate voyage with our US first mates. So it was a really fun voyage. Everybody got so involved and jumping in the pool on Scarlet Night and things. So there really was. It was a great atmosphere on board that voyage, particularly. Now, this just gives you an example of some of the offers that we have at Virgin Voyages. This is in euros, but this is just as an example. This is from our European side. But this month we've had 75% off second sailors, 450 euros in sweet savings. Of course, yours will be in pounds in the UK. So this just gives you a good example of the offers that we have out in the market. And here is some contact details to definitely make a note of. So we've got our brilliant support team, which is UK sales team at virginvoyages.com. This is our email address to contact for any booking related queries. If you're having issues logging into firstmates.com, which is our trade site to make your bookings, of course, or just any general queries for Virgin Voyages and any help that you might need to sell us. We've then got our training and tools. So firstmates.com is, of course, where you're going to make a lot of your bookings. I know a lot of you have already made them on here, being able to claim your first mate loot. But on firstmates.com, you can also access our Sea Academy training modules. So once you are signed up to firstmates.com, you'll have a login for Sea Academy. I would really definitely recommend completing your Sea Academy training modules. There's 20 courses in total, split across 4 tiers. But once you make it to gold tier and complete all of those training modules, it does put you at the top of the list and the priority list for any events that we might do in the future, any invites to things that we might have. So, for example, we've just launched some ship visits for the summer. So for across August and September, where we've got a few different ship visits in Portsmouth, down in the UK. And then we've also got one in Greenock in Glasgow and one in Belfast as well in September. So if you've got anybody if any of you are nearer to those areas, then definitely check out those ship visits. But the first thing that we look at is whether you're gold on your Sea Academy training. So definitely make sure that you've done that. And if that doesn't make you complete your training, you also do get access to first mate rates. So once you have completed gold tier on your Sea Academy training, you'll also get discounts on sailing Virgin Voyages as well. So sailing's from $150 per person per night, plus your taxes. So it's a really good reduced rate that you can use to sail with us on your own holidays. But on firstmates.com, you'll also find some marketing materials, contact information, and different self-service guides as well. So if you are unsure about how to make a booking, how to amend a booking, anything like that, then definitely head to firstmates.com and have a look at all the tabs that we've got across the top of the website to sort of give you a lot more information about us and how to work with us easier. So thank you, everybody, for joining the presentation. I know I've talked a lot and rambled on a lot about Virgin Voyages, but I hope you have taken a lot from that. It's really giving you an insight into the products and how we are different. And obviously, remember, just a top line, the key takeaways for Virgin Voyages is that, number one, we are adults only. So if you've got anybody looking for an adults only escape, or they want to go on a cruise, but they don't want the kids around, then definitely Virgin Voyages is for them. Anybody who is a foodie, so if you absolutely love your food, remember all of the food is included with Virgin Voyages. And of course, if you've got anybody who wants to go on a cruise but they're unsure about any of the formalities that normally come with sailing on a cruise, then of course we've done away with all the formalities. There's no dress codes, there's no formal nights, there's no main dining rooms with set dining times, anything like that. So it's really a casual way to cruise. And definitely the cruise for the non-cruiser as well. So we do get a lot of people who have maybe never been on a cruise before and they wanted to try it, but they weren't sure. And then we're definitely the cruise for them because it's a more casual way and a starter to set up cruising. But from a lot of feedback that we've had, if they go on Virgin Voyages, then they might not want to sail with anybody else. So definitely make sure you send them on board. You can get your first mate loop from all of those bookings and rack up that 16% commission as well that we have on the voyage fares. So really great earning opportunity with us as well. So there we go. I hope everybody's learned something there. I'm going to hand over now to the Q&A section. So if anybody's got any questions, then feel free to either pop your hand up or if you want to pop them in the chat. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. So if anybody has got any questions, I can just pop through now. Let's see if anybody's put any on there.
We've got a couple. Let's have a look. There was, oh, sorry, my computer's going doolally. I mean, can I just say as well, I'm a rock star. I'm a foodie. I think this company was designed for me. I would love it. It's amazing. So thank you, Ben. It was really insightful to learn about it.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, so let's have a look. Scrolling down. Paula, wow, Panama Canal. That's a fantastic itinerary. Just on that, the Princess ship. Will there be the historic locks?
I will get back to you, Paula. I don't know is the short answer to that. It's a brand new product for us, so we can definitely get some information over to you. I would imagine it's going to be the same as the Princess itinerary, to be honest.
Yeah, I would imagine. Nikki, sorry, Nikki, are there any plans to reinstate the cruises which were planned from Dubai to Singapore last year?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, last year and the year before, we did have a ship down in Australia. So as part of that repositioning, we had a ship sailing down to Dubai, then across to Singapore and down. So we had some really amazing itineraries. Unfortunately, due to political relations and problems around the Middle East and the Suez Canal, we couldn't make the return journey on the way back from Australia. So at the minute, we haven't got any plans to return to Australia. We're on sale now up until September, October 2027 on selected voyages. So who knows, after that, we might make a return at some point. Of course, now we've got Brilliant Lady who can transit the Panama Canal. So we've now got a different option to get down there. But currently, as it stands, we've not got any plans to go back down that way, unfortunately. But stay tuned because you never know in the future. We're an ever-evolving brand and we may return to that side of the world at some point.
Oh, definitely. I think you should pop in and see me. That'd be nice.
Yes, yeah. I think we did actually stop in Port Louis actually on the way across when we couldn't go back via the Suez Canal. So I think we have been to Mauritius at some point.
Oh, I love it. Excellent. Yeah. So Sheila said she's done the wine tasting at Test Kitchen. Oh, Sheila, I'm so jealous.
Yes.
Nikki loves the Korean chicken in Mumbai. Wish you could get it in takeaway or on Ship Eats?
I've already fed it back, Nikki, because I'm exactly the same. I love the Korean chicken in Gunbei. It's like a sweet, spicy, sweet and sour chicken that you get on the side plates. I tend to go to Gunbei and just say, I'll just have the chicken, please. Just keep filling me up with the chicken. So yeah, I agree, Nikki, definitely.
Perfect. Kathy, what percentage of cabins are Rockstar, Mega Rockstar? I'm trying to understand how many sailors would have access to Richard's rooftop terrace.
Okay, that's a good question. Percentage wise, I'm not too sure, but if you think that we have about 1,400 cabins total on board the ship, of course, we've got a lot of solo cabins as well within that number. And usually, I know Scarlet Lady, we've just added some more rock stars, but I believe on the rest of the fleet, we have between 70 and 80 rock star cabins. So it's not a huge amount of people that you'll find there. And last year I was hosting a fam trip with Layla, and we had access to Richard's rooftop then. And to be honest, it was never full. So Richard's rooftop is a great space, but I think a lot of people tend to want to be by the pool and be by the DJ and things like that. So it's a much more relaxing area. It's a very quiet area. So if you want to sunbathe in peace, be weighted on hand and foot by our Rockstar crew, then you can do that. But a short answer to your question, Kathy, I've never seen Richard's rooftop full. So it's definitely a great space for our Rockstar guests to use.
Perfect. Thank you. So Tony wants a copy of the recording. Yes, don't worry. We will send that over. It will also be put onto the firstmateloot.co.uk onto the reward program. So we'll send you a link for that. Just all make sure that you signed up to firstmateloot.co.uk. Any more? Maz has asked, hi, how do I add in a flight to a booking that I have made for myself?
Okay, so we don't do flights at Virgin Voyages. So in the UK, we don't have an ATOL license. So that's why we don't sell flights on the system. So if you've booked it on a retail rate, you'll just need to source your flights elsewhere. Or if you have access to our net rates, I know some people do have access to our net rates, then again, you can use those, use net rates with flights to package them up yourself. But as in terms of flights with us, we don't sell them from our end. So you would have to source them yourself.
Super. Shane has asked, I've got a question regarding the bar tab offer at the Bimini Beach Club visit. Can you use the prepaid ship bar tab while you're there?
Absolutely, yes. So as I mentioned, Bimini is an extension of the ship, essentially. So basically the wristband that you get to wear when you're on the ship, which is what you pay for all your drinks with, it's exactly the same at Bimini. So when you get off the ship, you use your wristband to pay for your drinks, and you can use your bar tab there as well. So we do actually have somewhere bar tab calculator. So we'll try and find that somewhere and maybe get it posted on firstmateloot.co.uk as well, so that you have access to it there maybe. But that's a good way of basically calculating how much bar tab that you might need to take away with you. But yes, in answer to your question, it's an extension of the ship at Bimini. So yes, you can use your bar tab there.
Happy days. Kashina's asked, when will Winter 27 schedule be released, please?
So we currently have our full schedule on sale up until April 2027. So we've got Winter 26, 27 on sale. We've just gone on sale for Summer 27 for our short Miami sailings. So I imagine Summer 27 for Europe and other destinations will be included next. And I would imagine that Winter 27, 28 is probably going to come on sale maybe at the end of this year, beginning of next year.
Brilliant, thank you.
Roughly, not official, but that's usually how it would work with us.
Approx, yeah, perfect. Paula has asked, what is a solo supplement? I presume that would vary on sailings.
Yeah, so we don't have a set solo supplement. We do have, like I said, I mentioned, we've got quite a lot of solo cabins, so there's usually not much of a supplement on top of those, or not a huge supplement. But we do actually run sometimes some solo sailor options as well. So we have in the past run no single occupancy charges or anything like that. So definitely keep your eye out, because we have run that campaign in the past, and we very well may do in the future. But there's no exact cost for solo supplements. We'd always recommend heading to firstmates.com and just having a play around with the pricing and just seeing what the difference is.
Super. Her next question was, what happens to any unused bar tab? Is it refunded back to the card? And then Sheila's answered that and said, no, Paula.
Yes, Sheila's right. So no, the unused bar tab does not go back to your card, unfortunately. So it's a use it or lose it situation. But like I said, it's good to use that bar tab calculator that will try and get out to you, because that's a good way of sort of gauging sort of what you would spend on board. So you're making sure that you're not adding too much or anything like that. But just to give you an idea of the prices on board, around 45% of the glasses of wine on board are around $10 or under. Now, remember that there's no additional charge for tips and gratuities or anything like that. So the price that you see on the menu is the price that you actually pay. And again, you'll be able to find example menus and things online where you can have a really good look through and see the prices of the drinks on there. But if you do you do add more bar tab on there, then you'll often see a lot of people shaking their phones for a bottle of champagne on the last day, trying to get rid of it. Speaking of, somebody's just asked how much is a bottle of Moët. $105 is a bottle of Moët. And a glass of Moët is $25 as well, so that's good to make note of. But if you do the opposite and you use all your bar tab up before the end of your voyage, then not to worry. Every time that you go over a bar tab, you just pay as you go. The prices of the drinks are no different, but you just sort of pay as you go, and then that extra charge is then added to your folio at the end of the voyage.
Yeah, perfect. Nick is just saying, one customer said there was a 10% charge on each drink on the last med cruise on Scarlet, but not on others.
Yeah, so I think this is a Spanish tax or a European tax rule. So you should be able to claim it at the airport on the way back. So you can actually visit Sailor Services, and they should be able to give you a document to fill out to basically get your tax back on some of the European sailings that we have.
Super. And do you know how much the cocktails are?
They range. I would say the majority of them are between $10 and $15. Obviously, all of our specialty cocktails there. But if you look at maybe a mixer, so if you have a spirit with a mixer, for example, they tend to be cheaper because, of course, with our essential drinks, your soft drinks are included. So if you had a rum and Coke, for example, you would just pay for the rum portion and not the Coke, which makes that drink cheaper. But if you're looking at things like cosmopolitans or pina coladas and stuff, they're all between about $10 and $15, depending on the alcohol that they use.
Perfect. And if you run out of your bar tab, can you buy an extra bar tab?
So you can't buy a bar tab once you are on board. You can only purchase a prepaid bar tab before you travel. The reason for that is because if you prepay for it, we'll give you the bonus for free. So like I said, for example, if you bought a $300 bar tab, we would throw in an extra 50 for free. So you're essentially getting a few free drinks on us if you prepay for your bar tab. But once you run out of bar tab on the ship, then you just pay for the drinks as you go, just using your wristband, and those extra charges for the drinks will just get added to your folio at the end of the voyage.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ben. What a great webinar. So yes, sorry for the messing earlier, but I'm sure you can agree that this is super amazing, and we will send a copy of the recording out for you all anyway. I will send Ben's contact details if you've got any further questions. Let him know. And yes, thank you very much, everybody, for your time today. It's been great. Thank you very much, Ben. You're a star.
Thank you for me. Yes, thank you everybody for joining and listening and learning hopefully a lot about Virgin Voyages. So yes, hopefully we'll see you on board soon too.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.